Hey, Bourbon Bros KC here. We are here for another podcast episode of pairing bourbon with a cigar. So, Keith on the end, as you know, Derek, Mike, and today we have a special guest. He was hand selected. His name is Ken. He is from Montreal, Canada. So, Ken is here because Ken is a big time Scotch guy and a big time cigar guy where we can't get cigars.
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks those two things are the absolute best thing that there is.
Right.
So we're here to change his mind.
That's right.
Right. So welcome, Ken.
Well, I've always been drinking Scotch and Cuban cigars, and I've been pairing them myself the best I know without anybody telling me, what is and what isn't. I just know what I like, and now I'm ready to move on and see
Absolutely. The real stuff.
the
What
real
you really like.
Welcome tonight. And we're going to, again, tonight it's short barrel.
Yep.
Their cigar blend.
So they have a couple cigar blends, right?
Yeah, they do have, and they have like a 23 and a 24, and then this is the 25. It's the batch 3.
Nice.
Actually, something I have some information. I don't retain very well, but this is a batch 3. They actually have what they call a gauge 36 and a gauge 21. From what I don't know if it's the percent is 36 and 21, but I do know that the 36 has a higher rye additive to the barrel, and 21 has less, right? So it's just the rye content in the barrel. Their blends, it's a blend they get from Kentucky and Indiana. To obviously Indiana, we know Kentucky, and then they put them in their own barrels, and it's 1 to 3 years. The cognac, rum, and I can't say this word.
Armagnac.
Huh?
Armagnac.
Armagnac
And
and
tawny.
tawny port barrels. Just sweetness. It's dry, spicy, full-bodied bourbon. And it's made for, they say either strong pour or a slow smoke, right? And it's made for a cigar. So I think this comes, this is perfect in our wheelhouse of what we're doing, right?
Can we go back real quick? You said that
Absolutely.
it's aged in Armagnac and cognac and rum
And
barrels.
tawny port.
And
And
tawny
port.
port.
Right. 1 to 3 years each? Is that what that's saying?
No, I think total,
I
right?
think so,
Total of
yeah.
total. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
total. So, that's above and beyond what it's already been
Sure.
sitting in a barrel, to be bourbon, right?
Then it's just finished. Okay.
It's finished in that, right?
I don't know a whole lot about bourbon, so I'm learning here. So
Yeah. No. Short Barrel is out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
okay.
We met, talked to them. Clinton down there him and I talked,
Mhm.
and we got a couple bottles just to do this for this. So, yeah, I was excited for this. This is if you're out there looking at bourbons or look anything or searching good cigar blends, Short Barrel always pops up.
Okay.
Every social media I have is it automatically throws what's that called? It knows what you're looking at.
The
So
algorithm.
the algorithm for me is nothing but bourbon, right?
Nice.
Bourbon and some cigars, right? So, but Short Barrel always pops up. I have a friend who I'm on a different channel with, social media, Frankie, and Frankie, he lives down there by them, and he knows them well, and he swears by them. So, yeah, I'm excited for this. I've had a small handshake of this, and I will tell you, it wasn't enough. I mean, I was like, it's like I wish I could squeeze more out of this little jar, right? So again, thank you for that, Frankie. But
So we're filming today at Ash Anvil. It's all good. It's my cigar shop. We're down here in Gardner, Kansas, just on the southwest side of the metro of the Kansas City metro area. And so, is this whiskey available in Kansas?
Now, I have not seen short
I don't
barrel
think
in
you can get
Kansas.
short
I
barrel
don't think
here.
it comes to Kansas.
Because I haven't seen it.
No,
But again, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm learning.
no, I don't think they distribute it.
I know.
But you can go online and purchase from short barrel.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we're at on that. I don't think it's in Kansas yet. Of course, Kansas has lots of different laws, as we know, right?
Yeah.
So just go to Missouri. If you're in Missouri, just go to Missouri and buy it.
It is available. In
I don't know.
Missouri?
I don't think.
You know, I should have known that, right? So, like, you know, every time we do something, we have to, you know, we learn a little bit more of what we should know next, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just for me personally, you know, I had a very, very small sample of this, and I liked it. So if I get through this glass and I decide I want to go find more, where can I find her? If you're viewing it, you know, at home, and you're local to us, where can you go find it? That's something that we should
absolutely know that, right?
Because that'd be good for me at least to know.
Well, I know you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do know you can get it online in Kansas.
Get it online.
So I mean, that's where I kind of went, right? And that's right.
Yeah.
That's where I had those conversations. So
Mhm.
no, it's again, I've talked to a lot of guys that are kind of close to this and drink have a lot of this, and there's no doubt that they say when I told them, hey, we're doing this one, they're like, oh, you're gonna love this. So you know, the goal obviously is to know, like you said, you're pairing a cigar with it. So we'll try it and we'll go from there, right?
Yeah.
So and Ken, this is a this is a cigar blend that I think is made for the cigar guy, right?
Right.
If you ask me, any bourbon, it goes good with a cigar. Obviously, some goes better, right?
Some goes better. Yeah.
For me, hand in hand. And when I'm drinking some bourbon, I want a cigar, no matter what it is.
Mhm.
But so, you know, as we've learned, it changes the complexity. It changes everything
Yeah.
when you're smoking it with the cigar.
Sure. Yeah.
So, close it up a little
Oh,
bit.
there
Right
we go.
there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
So we didn't have the chat up, so we
Hi, Van.
Van, how do I get a leather patch hat? I think you know that answer. So we'll just go with that. I knew Van, so but he does live in a different state. So it's not
How
like
do you-
he's-
how
not
do you
like
get
he's
one?
so- What?
How do you get a leather
Well,
patch hat?
Two Boys in a Tea, who is one of our sponsors that creates twoboysinat.com. That's TEE.
Okay.
Two spelled out the letter two, and I think you'll see that on there. We'll have that on there listed a little bit later. So
Yeah, because Chris is asking about merch, so we should put together a merch page or something.
Yeah.
That'd be
yeah, so again, I think if you go to twoboysinat.com,
Two Boys in the Sea. Yeah.
I think there is a merch page for that too. So
I'd like to add, since I have some
hold on.
Canadian,
Lenexa has it. Someone said, or you can get it.
Oh, nice.
We're
at Lenexa. What liquor store?
Yeah, we're at a liquor store.
Justin's.
Oh, okay.
Says
Justin's Lenexa.
Perhaps Justin's and Lenexa.
All right,
So-
good. So
Good. We're talking about the whiskey now, not the hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's good. So, no, I think if what you guys think so, we poured some out of this.
Yeah.
You were going to say something about being in Canada.
yeah. Do you ship to Canada? Because I do have some Canadian friends that I think are online watching.
Well, my next question is Canada going to put American spirits back on the shelf?
I'm sure they are.
What can you do, Ken, to help us?
I'm not
Get
sure.
that.
I'm not sure this live is long enough to.
to go into politics.
Yeah. So,
It's like Derek said. Let's talk about the bourbon.
and I don't know if they can ship to Canada. To be honest with you,
I don't think so.
I
Probably not
wouldn't
right
think
now.
so, right?
Probably not right now. Yeah.
But you know,
I'll look into it.
as bourbon gets, bourbon's a big thing, right?
Sure,
I mean, hopefully, I've been in Canada when I've seen some specific bourbons up there. It's a very select few,
Yeah.
as you've seen.
Yeah.
So,
Very select few.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
On the nose, what do you get?
So for me, it's really sweet. You can pick up what it's been finished in. You pick up the hints of that Armagnac. You get that sweetness from the rum.
very much rum.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
rum forward.
I got a little cherry pick-up, and you know,
I got
It's
some.
very fruity.
I got some spices.
So if you read the label says you should pick up No one said leather, so I'm disappointed in everyone
So-
here.
Because it says leather,
Smoky leather, candied fruit, and warm oak.
warm up.
That's their tasting notes on this.
Okay. Well, we haven't tasted it yet.
Yeah,
So let's see if
yeah.
I taste leather.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So all right. Well,
right.
cheers, boys.
wow, that's smooth.
Yeah.
What's the proof on this?
113.
114.
I was like, oh,
114.
100 what?
114.
114.
Yeah.
I got a little spice on the front of the
Yeah, a
palate.
little spice.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting fruity. You get that stone fruit through there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Got a little warm hug on the back.
Very nice.
It drinks way lower proof than it actually is, I think.
Oh yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
mean,
you don't get the burn on the
No.
backside. It's
yeah.
all up front.
A
You don't
warm
get that.
hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really nice. This is. I do. After you mentioned the leather.
the leather.
You get the leather.
I do.
Yeah, it wasn't evident, but it's.
Now that you've said it,
Yeah.
it's sort of like standing out in right field with my baseball glove and just taking that big sniff of my baseball glove, standing out there chewing on the end of the string or whatever, you know.
Right.
I get a little bit of that. It's not in your face aggressive with that leather, but I can get it. So and the stone fruit, you know, that sort of cherry, plum, figgy thing. I get that.
Yeah.
It's got a really good mouthfeel. It's not thin or thick. I mean, it's
No, it's
good-
a laugh.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Good pour.
definitely, and I think part of that is what they've even said, right? The complexity of you know, it's a lasting feel, you know, so it's a little richer, creamier. That it just doesn't go away, right?
Right.
You're getting it for a while. So
But you're definitely picking up what it's been finished in. I mean, that is the.
Oh, I get the rum.
Yeah, that's the notes you get on it. It's very in your face, not in your face, but I mean, you're picking it up.
I mean, bourbon, a lot of times I get that vanilla,
Yeah,
but I really get that a strong vanilla out of a lot of rums.
right.
And now I'm not sure if it's coming from the rum barrels or if it's the mash of the bourbon, but it's definitely vanilla.
Yeah, like going back to your point, it'd be very interesting to understand 4 different things. How long was it finished in each barrel?
Right.
Like, to understand really what happens.
So I wonder if, I guess it'd be a question. There's 4 different things that's a part of that barrel, right?
Right.
I wonder if when they create a barrel, they create another barrel with the staves from those 4 items. That's a good question, right? So if anyone knows who's watching, who might be tied to, you know, and understand the short barrel, you know, is it, you know, I wonder if they, you know, because I've seen that, right, where they'll buy a bourbon barrel and they'll buy different things and they'll interchange the staves,
Sure.
make a new barrel, and then so you're getting
Right.
different complexities out of that barrel.
No
A
way.
blender will, right?
I didn't know.
Yeah, so they'll
Wow, that's
take you know, a quarter of the staves of 4 different things and put them in there, so it's going to pick up different notes from different part of the staves that was in that barrel.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
they did that.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've heard that before. So they, you know, that's how they kind of get different. You know, they're adding more complexity,
Yep.
right? Of
Right.
just one thing, like just a cognac or something. 'Cause I'm sure they're not going to take it in different barrels. So that might be
Maybe that's how they do it. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, let's talk about this cigar.
absolutely.
All right. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, I did sample a little of this before we went live tonight,
Yep.
and I picked a cigar that I think is going to pair very well. And now that I've had more than just that tiny little sip, I think I picked the right one. I'm excited about this one.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is, I'm going to unwrap it here so we can kind of show off the label. It's a beautiful label. I mean, seriously, one of the best looking labels in the industry, I think. This is Domain Cigars. Okay. And this is the Entropy blend. This is the Bellicoso, which is, I don't know, it's kind of a Robusto size. If I look at the packaging, I should have looked beforehand, but it's a 5x54. But it's a Bellicoso, so it's kind of tapered. And it's got a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper on it, which a lot of times for me gives me like an earthy sweetness. Think of like, you know, the smell of rain, kind of that earthy, it's a little bit sweet. I kind of get that off of broadleaf a lot of times. But when I tasted this whiskey, and it has to me, the whiskey does have a little bit of that spice, especially right on the front of the palate.
Right.
This cigar came to mind because this does have some spice to it, even though it's got that Connecticut broadleaf, which isn't typical of broadleaf. It's got a Nicaraguan binder and filler, so that must be where that spice is coming from. At least that's what I remember of this cigar. I haven't smoked it in a while, but I'm excited to smoke it. This is it's made in Nicaragua. The guy that owns it, his name is Daniel Lance. He lives in Nicaragua, but he's originally from Overland Park, Kansas.
Oh, really?
So he's a local guy. In
Local.
fact, he managed a cigar shop down the road a ways and has become a friend of mine. And this is his one of his blends.
Wow.
So let's talk about something when I open up the cigar. The end.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the end is a little unique to. I can't really see it.
Yeah, I don't
but
know how we'll be able to see it.
it's almost like it's extremely tight to about the last inch.
Yep.
And it's like then the wrapper ends and it's a different, like a second wrapper that's under. It's almost like it's three wrappers.
It's the binder. That's the binder.
Okay.
So there's three components to a cigar. You have the wrapper, which is the part that's beautiful. It's got a sheen to it a lot of times. It's dark or it's creamy looking. You know, it's what you see. It's what you touch. It's what you put on your lips. You taste it. That's the wrapper leaf. Inside of the wrapper leaf is a binder leaf, and a binder leaf is typically fairly ugly. Right? It's good tobacco. There's nothing wrong with it, but maybe it's got a tear in it, or maybe it's got splotchiness from the different color variations within that one leaf, or it's got some sort of blemish. Binders typically are thicker leaves, and so that's the binder is holding together the filler. And if you look at the foot of the cigar where it's uncut, the part that you would light, you'll see the filler, and it's kind of folded in there.
Yeah.
So that is, it's not necessarily whole leaves, but it's large pieces of leaf. This is not a short fill cigar. This is what we would call a long fill cigar. And so it's got pieces of leaves, stems sometimes. I don't know what the blend is on this one exactly, but sometimes they'll put stems in there. And sometimes they'll use a little bit of this leaf and a little bit of that leaf, and create a unique blend for your filler. The binder and filler are rolled before they put the wrapper on. So the binder and the filler, they roll it, and it goes into a mold that comes out of the mold, and they roll that beautiful wrapper on the outside. So what you're seeing on the end of this cigar, this is called an unfinished foot. So no, sorry, this is not an unfinished foot. This is called a shaggy foot. It's a shaggy foot. And if you look at it and you can see it up close, you'd understand why it's called a shaggy foot. It looks
Right.
like what I would expect a shaggy foot to look like.
Yeah.
An unfinished foot is where the wrapper totally goes around the end, and it's nice and smooth and enclosed on the end. And it's funny that you call that an unfinished foot because it's an extra step.
Okay.
But people call it unfinished. But this is a shaggy foot cigar. So this is a shaggy foot Bellicoso, 5x54. This is the Domain Entropy.
So with the shaggy foot, does that give you something different on the smoke?
Yeah, so when we light it up, we're going to be lighting it without the wrapper. You're not going to taste the wrapper at all. You haven't lit the wrapper yet. You'll get a little bit of the taste of the wrapper on your lips, but you won't get the flavor of the wrapper through the smoke. And so we're going to smoke, it looks to be right about an inch of this cigar.
Right.
And then we should get a distinct change in flavor when that wrapper lights up.
Okay.
So I like shaggy foot cigars. I think it adds something interesting to the cigar.
I think this is cool because we haven't done one of these cigars. So, I mean, this is
No, I
Even
opened it up
for
and I
us.
thought, well, maybe something's wrong. with
Something's
mine.
wrong.
No,
It's wrong. It's cracked. Yeah. No, it's on purpose.
I always thought it was the same leaf that finished the whole cigar that was inside the cigar. But you're saying no. So this
On
is
a lot of cigars. So you're from Canada and you're smoking Cuban cigars. Cuban cigars are Cuban puros. On the books, they're Cuban puros. I don't know that that's necessarily always the case, but they're binder, wrapper, filler, all Cuban tobacco. However, they may be using Seco tobaccos, so lower on the plant, leaves that are lower on the stem for binder or filler. And then they're probably using Ligero, so upper leaf, somewhere in there, Viso leaves in there. So they're using different parts of different plants within the blend. And then on top of that, there's hundreds of types of tobacco. And I don't know exactly what types of tobacco they're growing in Cuba, but they could be, a strain of tobacco over here that they're taking the wrapper off of, which may be, Ligero tobacco, and then they could be taking Viso tobacco off of this other strain from this other part of Cuba, and then blending it together into a Cuban cigar. And it's
Okay.
still a Cuban Puro because it's all Cuban tobacco.
It's all community.
Right. So,
Gotcha.
all right, well, let's cut it. I have a cutter here. This is nice, cheap, inexpensive, great cutter. This is the Vertigo Big Kahuna. This is a daily carry for me because it's got a lifetime warranty if I ever break it. It's got serrated blades. It's super sharp. And you can cut up to an 80 ring gauge, which
Yeah.
I do smoke big ring gauge cigars sometimes.
So on a torpedo cigar, how much should you be cutting off
Wow. If you've watched any of our other videos, I
Yeah.
talk about the cap,
Yep.
right? And you don't want to cut the cap off. The torpedo is made different. So you're going to take off to the point where it feels right to you,
Okay.
right? It's not going to unravel the way that a straight Parejo would, where you cut the cap off and there's nothing holding it together. This is rolled in a way that you can cut off however much your heart desires, and it's not going to fall apart.
Okay.
So,
So much to learn.
yeah.
I mean, it's got a great smell to it. Just,
Yeah.
The dry.
I mean, it's very, like you were talking about, it's a really earthy smell to it.
All right, so this is going to sound bad when I say it out loud, and maybe I've talked about this on one of the other videos, but this smells like what I tell people is barnyard,
Yeah.
because I don't want to say manure out loud.
Yeah.
But it turns out the cigars that have this sort of barnyardy, grassy,
Yeah.
hay, manure smell
Yeah.
to it, it's got that sweetness to it. Those tend to be some of my favorite
Yeah.
cigars.
No, it's a great smell.
Yeah. So, do you get that smell off of it?
Yeah, I don't get a lot of it.
No, it's fairly.
But I get that on the draw.
Smell the foot of the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it a lot stronger on the foot of the cigar.
Yes, for sure. That's
Oh
right.
yeah.
And it tastes very similar to the way it smells.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting that on the draw.
Unbelievable.
The draw,
The difference between.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay, so I've got a cool lighter here to use too. This is the Icon by Vector Cigars and Vector lighters. You're gonna like this because you flip the lid open and the gas turns on. You have to open it faster than I did, and then you hit the button, and it's an electric start with a touch screen. Isn't that cool?
everything's going electric, right? Everything's going electric.
It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and light my cigar, and I'm going to slowly toast the tobacco. I'm going to try to keep it out of the visible flame. I'm just going to toast it like I'm toasting a marshmallow over a campfire. I want to caramelize the sugars that are naturally present, not carbonize them. Like if you take your marshmallow and just jam it down in the flame, it turns black, it's going to have that sooty taste to it. I don't want my cigar to taste like soot. So once it starts to glow a little bit, pull the flame up to it.
What do you think?
Just a super mild draw.
Yeah, very good draw.
Wow.
Right off the bat, I get rye bread,
Yeah. for
like
sure.
the crust of rye bread.
That's really good.
Now, again, it's going to change when we get to that rapidly,
Okay.
but
Are you?
push a button. There you go. Oh, push it again. Hold it, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, it's like an electric car, right? It only goes
No,
so
no.
many miles.
For sure. It has been sitting on my shelf for a while, so this is one that I'm currently selling. Maybe I need to charge it up. So
Yeah,
here,
that's
use this one. There we go. The trusty Warhead lighter from
No,
Espinosa.
I'll mess with that.
that is my absolute favorite.
That's a cool lighter. Quad flame. Very nice. Espinosa
that's-
does a great job.
That's a very very easy draw.
I get a leatheriness off of it.
Yeah.
You know, I get like a hay. You know, if you're chewing on. Here's what I'm getting. If you chew on some green hay, kind of, it's not really.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but it's almost a sweet kind of.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm picking up that on that for sure.
So I assume once you get an inch in, the whole flavor is gonna taste different because you get the binder, right?
You'll get the wrapper leaf on it.
Wrapper.
Right now we're smoking just binder and filler. So
So I did the, what do you call that again when you?
retro hail.
Yeah, and I got leather for sure.
Yeah, on the retro for sure. That's where I get it.
I picked up some leathery.
Do you guys retro hail back through your nose?
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that in Canada, but
We inhale.
you inhale.
That's right. Yeah, that's a great cigar.
No, I mean, it's mild enough to, if you do inhale it, it's not one of those,
Right. It's not going to kill you.
it's not going to kill you. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want it.
Domain makes 3 different blends, and I think each one comes in like 9 different sizes. So that's a lot of different cigars, different shapes, different cigars. But 3 blends, and this is the Entropy, which is again that Connecticut broadleaf on Nicaraguan binder and filler. And then there is a New Gentropy and a oh my gosh, I just blanked. New Gentropy, Entropy, and holy cow, I just blanked on what the third one is. Sorry, Daniel. Forgot what the third one was.
We're not gonna be able to help you. So
Yeah, we're out.
Somebody in the comments, help me out. Rabbi Moses or Ty. I know both of you guys know it.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Earl Pour.
I want to. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what now.
yeah, let's see how it changes.
See what all changes on both sides, right? Of course, there's not enough in my glass.
All right, so I think this is going to be kind of cool because we're going to get to experience this pairing twice. We'll get to pair it once with the cigar before the wrapper, and then once
Oh,
after.
there you go.
So I'm gonna go back to the whiskey. Wow, it makes just on the nose, it makes it so much sweeter. I think.
Yeah,
Very sweet. Yeah.
even on the palate, you get that.
Right.
You get that sweetness on the palate even more.
Wow. That is.
I'll be honest with you. The spice kind of went away
I get no spice. Spice is gone.
because
Spice is gone.
it was a
Yeah.
little strong for me with the spice at the first. I was like, obviously, but now the spice is gone. I almost with this. You know what I almost, because again, when I drink a rye, how I kind of know it's a rye. Sometimes I get it on the top of the palate. I get that freshness on the top of the palate.
Mhm.
I'm getting that now with the cigar, right? I'm tasting a little bit of that rye. I'm getting that rye freshness at the top of the palate.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, again,
I mean, yeah, it's better. In my opinion, it's better with a cigar after a cigar. If you just drink this straight, I mean, which is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be
cigar.
with the cigar.
But yeah, pairing it with cigar just tastes better.
it took all the spice away. I'm still getting that freshness up on the top of my palate. It's not as warm going down the backside.
Right.
It just smoothed it right on out, right? But a great flavor.
This was
Wow.
a great choice.
Thank you.
This is
This is a great
good
cigar. This is a good one. Yeah. So the story behind this, if you look online, there's some press releases when this came out. This brand is sort of becoming a big deal in the industry.
Okay.
It's kind of cool to watch it.
Domain,
Domain
right?
cigars.
Domain.
Yep, Domain cigars. And it's been cool to watch this brand kind of blow up. But there were some press releases when this cigar came out, and they talk about how there was this, they came up with a blend, they found something that they really, really loved, and then there was this disaster, and they had to go back to the drawing board. And so it doesn't really go into detail in the press release what this disaster was, other than they lost the blend. And so I called Daniel today and I said, what was this disaster? Right? What happened? Why did you lose the blend? And he said, well, we had to go through 6,000 cigars to get it right again.
Wow.
6,000 different blends. And what happened was they were sampling and they were trying things. And they were tweaking the blend back and forth a little bit, and they were making something new. And apparently not taking good enough notes. They found it. And they said, that's it. That's Domain Entropy. But what is it? And they couldn't remember. And, so something about the binder leaf was a very, very thick binder on that original blend. And so to try to recreate that, they went through 6,000 different blends, probably only rolling 1 or 2 or 3 of each, but blending all these different cigars to try to find what exactly that was. What they found was that wrapper, or that binder leaf that was very thick, for some reason was not available after that. So
Okay.
they took a very similar binder, and to get that thickness and to get that richness from the binder, they doubled it up.
Oh, so that's the do.
Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong on that. So if you're here in the comments, or if you watch this later, feel free to call me out on telling the story wrong. But that's how I understood it. Is they had to reblend and tweak it until they got the right
So
one.
they got the right.
But I think that goes into a lot of bourbon, whiskey, cigars.
Yeah.
You go to the store and you buy something, you don't realize how much work goes into something, how much research goes into something. Let's say with a bourbon or whiskey, you could throw it in a barrel in 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, whatever, however long you want to leave it. You come back, it might not be something that you really want. You might have to alter. Same with a cigar, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
There's a lot to where you have to put a lot of work into it to get to where you want it to get. That's what people, I think, miss sometimes, is just how hard it is to get to this point where you're putting it out.
I don't know how many people are involved in making a bottle of whiskey, but from the time that the plant is a seed to the time that it's a cigar in your hand, there's been, in the industry, they talk about how there's been over 300 people that have touched that cigar. Right?
Really?
Between the people planting the seeds in the greenhouses and watering the seeds in the greenhouses, and testing the soils, and planting from the greenhouse into the field, and caring for it in the field, and then harvesting, and then fermenting, and then sorting, and then rolling, and then packaging. They talk about how it's 300 people from the time it's a seed to the time that it's in your hand. And to think that you can buy this cigar for about $15,
Right.
and you're paying 300 people for it.
Yeah.
300 people are taking their share of that cigar.
It's no different like a bourbon, right? You get a single barrel bourbon. So a single barrel bourbon obviously is, every bottle that's taken out of that one came from one single barrel.
Yeah.
Now they may have the same ash bill, the same everything. When they fill these barrels up, and the same time frame, let's say they go 8 years on a single barrel, okay, and it goes in there. But unless if you get one bottle and it has, like, let's say, the barrel number on there, right? The only way you're really gonna get that exact what you liked on that one is to get a bottle from that same barrel.
Right.
Because even though it's the same mash bill, same everything, when they empty it, it pulls different things out of the barrel, different things in the wood, right? So,
where in the rick house it was, and what the humidity in that particular part of the rick house is.
But even if it's everything's the same, everything's on the top floor, it's the same mash bill, they pulled it the same day. Every barrel is there's going to be something different out of it, right? So you could pick a single barrel, be like, this is the best I've ever had. You go to the store, you buy another bottle, you bring it home, and it's not what you thought it was going to be, but it's still the same exact thing, same year, same everything. So I imagine that's the way in a cigar too, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, just like that, when there's so much that goes into the barrel, just the barrel making, they're growing the oak, and they're harvesting the oak at different times of the year, and it's, milled at different times of the year, and the barrel is created. That's all going to have a different effect on it. How long has that barrel been sitting there unused? How long ago was it milled? How old was the tree? All that stuff is going to go into affecting flavor. Where exactly was it grown? And there's so much of that barrel that's making such a strong influence on the whiskey.
Right.
I imagine that it's very similar to tobacco. What field is it growing in? What part of the field is it growing in? There's a brand called Quesada. We're getting ready to do an event with them coming up in a couple weeks here in the store. And there's a cigar that they have called Reserva Privada. And Reserva Privada is, a private reserve. Manolo Quesada, who is the patriarch of the family, who just recently kind of stepped down in his role and passed it on to the next generation. Manolo one day was walking through the fields in the Dominican Republic, and in one corner of one particular field, noticed, like, oh, wow, this tobacco in this corner is amazing. We're going to set that aside for something else. And that became the Reserva Privada.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It was the same seed, planted at the same time. It was grown in the same field with the same environmental input. However, the one corner of the field, it may have been a little lower, it may have been a little higher. The water runoff was a little bit
Absolutely.
different.
Just,
You know, whatever it was, it influenced that tobacco in a way that when Manolo was walking through, watching it grow, he goes, "Holy cow, this is amazing. We're going to set this aside." And I'm assuming that same thing is happening in the grain, you know, in the
Oh, for
corn,
sure.
in the
Absolutely.
barrel, and all of that, and it's all having an effect. So when you talk about, you know, the mash bill may be the same, but is the barrel the same? And then how is it treated exactly in the rick house? I just wonder how much that.
yeah, it's just, everything's gonna. There's little notes everywhere that are so much different, right? So
Going back to our previous video about Union Horse and the trains rolling by, or is that was
that's Rieger.
that was Rieger with the
Yeah.
trains rolling. We were talking about it last video with the trains rolling by. If that's playing an effect, and maybe it truly is, how on floor one, how close is it to the track? You know, and
And how much
another
shaking is it
100
compared
yards.
Yeah.
to 6 stories up versus
Right, I
before?
wonder-
Yeah? I mean, again, every little thing impacts it something different. I mean,
Yeah. 'Cause-
it-
But it,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say Union Horse, Rieger, they don't really have rick houses per se. They're in a warehouse. So I
Right.
mean, you get a different experience there than you would in a like Holiday in an
yeah.
actual rick house
Right.
where you're talking about thermodynamics and how it flows through and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean, kind of like this. I mean, what you're saying with the field. I mean, you're going to get something totally different. Or let's say you have a single barrel. You could have 5 barrels that you pick. Maybe only one's really a single barrel. The rest are going to get blended.
Right.
So
punted or
true.
added to other barrels to become
Right.
small
Yeah.
batch, right?
Exactly.
Sure.
but
Sure.
after
Yeah, so-
listening to all of you, it basically comes down to Mother Nature.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of
Mother
it.
Nature.
Absolutely.
How much sun, how much rain, how much
Right.
the cloudiness.
Yeah.
And then the artistry of the blending, both in the
Blending,
whiskey and in the
exactly.
tobacco. It's the creativity and the, you know, I don't have that in me. I don't think that I have that the creativity in me, that artistry in me, to be able to take something and blend it in. And I don't know if it's like this way in the whiskey industry. There seems to be a lot of musicians in the cigar industry. A lot of
Okay.
the blenders are drummers and guitarists and pianists, and they just have that creative mind.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same way with the
Well,
distillers.
but you know, I was invited to go down to I'm kind of glad I didn't go. I was invited to go down to they were going to do a single barrel pick for a guy named Frankie who I'm kind of connected with, and it was a special. He's got cancer, so they're doing a special barrel for him. And they went down there, and these guys they do this, right? They do a lot of single barrel picks. Big Mike's Bourbon. I mean, Mike Rowland down out of Corpus Christi, he does a bunch of barrel picks. You know, my worry to do something like that is, you know, if they put 10 barrels in front of you, and you've got to absolutely, you know, you'll eliminate 4, then you go down to 3. I mean, I don't know if I have yet a palate that can say, wow, it's that one.
Right.
When these guys went down to Atlanta and they did this with the Whiskey Society, I think there were 14 of them. 13 of them picked the same one barrel.
Wow.
Okay. And one picked a barrel that the other 13 said it could have went either way.
Yeah.
My fear is I'd be that guy that says, oh, it's that one over there, right?
Yeah.
So it takes a palate to recognize and understand that.
Sure.
So when we started this, I'm like, yep, I just drink bourbon. But I'm starting to get there where I can pick that up. But I'm not
Developing
sure that I'm that guy that could go, that you want me there going, I'm going to pick your barrel that is absolutely the top best. So, you know, that was kind of amazing where 13 out of 14 picked the same barrel, right?
That's amazing. Yeah.
That is amazing.
So,
I think we've all gotten to the point in the cigar.
Yeah.
yes,
We're
absolutely.
smoking the wrapper now. It looks like you are just right on the cusp of it happening, and so are
I'm
you.
right on the cusp.
Heath, you and I, we
Yeah.
smoke fast.
Yeah. Obviously.
Well, obviously you could see who was talking a lot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Do you notice the change in it?
You know, I noticed a little bit of change, but I don't know if I could tell you that it changed the total like taste of it. You know,
Right,
like
right.
the smoke just is is very similar.
I agree with you. I don't get a huge distinct flavor when that wrapper leaf lit up, but it's interesting because there's a thing going around in the industry, in the cigar industry, and I hear people talk about it all the time. And in fact, I was at one time saying this to people that the wrapper leaf is, you know, about 70% of the flavor. I don't know where that idea came from. In the last year and a half or so of me smoking cigars, I don't think that that's true. But that is something that I've heard lots of people say, and I've said it as well. You know, I heard that the wrapper leaf is 70% of the flavor. I don't think it is.
Well,
You know,
that goes back to where we had Luciano on.
Right.
And there was a cigar that they did a double wrapper, right?
Mhm.
And when he had one wrapper on there,
That was the Fiat Lux Tenebris.
it gives a complete different flavor.
Sure.
Then you add that second wrapper, and it completely changed it, right?
It did. That one was a totally different cigar with that other wrapper on there.
So obviously the wrappers obviously got
it's a
part
component.
of it.
It's a
It's a
flavor
component,
for
that's
sure.
right, that's
Right. It's part of it. But you know, there's Daniel and his team at Domain did 6,000 blends to get the binder right. Right. And you don't really think about the binder. You know, who cares? The binder's Nicaraguan, right? It's not something that we really talk about. We talk about the wrapper leaf all the time.
Right.
Which I'd like to understand when they're doing these 6,000 tests. Do they actually roll the cigar to actually smoke it, or is there another way of testing the blend?
They roll it.
They roll it.
They roll it. Yeah, I mean, Daniel can roll a cigar, and so they'll sit there at their table, and he may roll 10 cigars while they're chatting and smoking this one, and they're rolling more, and they smoke this one, and they may not be smoking it down to the nub like I would.
Right.
40 minutes, Van.
But is that where we're at?
Nope, and Van asked, how far are you from the airport?
Oh, great.
Van comes to Kansas City once in a while. I'll guarantee probably next time he comes here, he'll be here.
Yep, we're about 40 minutes south. Yep.
Yeah, so good.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
they're rolling the cigar.
This is definitely sit on the back porch.
Oh,
Again,
absolutely.
You know, with this is definitely a great pairing, right?
Yeah.
I think this would again. I'm not the guy that can pair a cigar with that, but this is one that I would definitely sit on the back porch, right? Short Barrel has done a great job, obviously, with this. They're movers and shakers in the industry. They're creating some great product. They come out with some honey. So they've just got one to come out. That
Bee's
was,
knees.
what's that?
The bee's knees.
The bee's knees. With the honey, and I think it's sold out in like
It's a pretty sought after release.
That's interesting.
Short Barrel. They're up and coming. They are, if they're not already there.
They're not producing, right? They don't produce any of their stuff.
No.
They source it all, right?
They source, but again, it's
Yeah,
what
there's nothing wrong with that.
it's what it's what they do with it after.
Sure.
So-
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that are doing that. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
But they're creating.
that's why MGP exists, because
Right.
they just produce.
And there's a lot of that in the cigar industry. I should point out that Domain Cigars is, you know, in the liquor industry, you hear seed to sip a lot. You know, it's, I have a new whiskey that I'm bringing into my bar next door, and it's Gunner whiskey. Right, and I'm working on getting, you know, one of their distillers up here to do a video with us here. And they're a seed to sip company. What's the other one? Boot Hill out in Dodge City.
Boot Hill,
They're a seed to sip. They're growing the grains. They're getting the grains. It's all local, and they're doing everything distilling.
They're distilling it themselves.
Barreling
They're not buying.
Right. And part of me is like, oh, that's awesome. I like that. But there's nothing wrong with
No, absolutely not.
At
I
all.
mean, yeah, kind of like going back. There's probably as many cigars as there is bourbons, whiskeys out there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can go try. It's all about what hits your palate.
Right. And in the cigar industry, there's lots of brands out there that don't grow tobacco.
Sure.
There's lots of brands out there that don't own a factory. You know, they're going down and they're buying tobacco and they're taking it to a factory, or maybe they're even just going to the factory that has the tobacco and they're rolling it for them. And they're blending somebody else's tobacco and having this other factory make. Domain is not that. They are in the tobacco world, seed to shelf, right? Seed to smoke. they're farmers. Daniel's a farmer. They've got their own farmers. Can't remember their head farmer and blender's name. I wish I could remember that. But they are farmers. They've got their own factory.
Yeah.
They're doing their labels in house. Like everything is done in house with them, which is pretty cool. And
I think that's great because there's some people that want that. They want to know that whatever they're smoking, whatever they're drinking is they're growing their own. They're doing it themselves, kind of thing. Where some people don't care, which is perfect. I mean,
and there's nothing wrong with cigars that aren't done that way. That are, one of my very favorite cigars is All Saints Cigars. It's made in Rocky Patel's factory, right? But Mickey Pegg, the blender and the owner, and he doesn't own the factory. He's not a farmer.
right.
He's a blender.
Yeah.
And he went down and he blended his cigars at the Rocky factory, and they make it for him. But Daniel has so much more control over it. One of the things that tends to end up happening to people who aren't blenders in the industry, or I'm sorry, who aren't growers and who aren't owning their factory, is there's less consistency within the brand.
Okay.
Now, MGP is consistent, right? They're so big. You know what you're getting, and it's going to be the same from them each time because they've got it down to a science. They're master.
Yes.
It's not that way in the cigar industry. So by having the control over having the farm, it's a big deal for Domain to have that.
That's cool.
Hey, Scott AB. Well, hey, welcome to the channel. We do this every couple weeks, but so like and subscribe. But we're just continuing to grow this. So subscribe to the channel, get alerts, and we put out some episodes, and we do these live podcasts, and
we have a crowd here in the shop tonight.
Absolutely,
it's here to watch it and
we
join along with us. So.
We're learning. We're learning as we go, right?
Yeah, and this is all. Yeah, the whole idea of this is just to share. I mean, we might like this, you might not like it. I mean, it's all about trying. That's about cigar community, bourbon, whiskey community.
That's what I love about it.
It's about trying it, seeing what you like, and then you can decide what you want. I mean, everyone knows in like the bourbon world, there's certain bottles that people are chasing just because of the name. I'm sure they do that in the cigar world too. If there's nothing wrong with it, it's not right. I mean, it's whatever you choose. I mean, it's your own path.
And it goes about to where everyone wants a Cuban, right? Yeah. I mean, and
you can't get them. This guy can.
You can't get them here, right? But it is, again, why one reason to talk about why you're here is it, if you get a Cuban, are you getting the best cigar in the world? I don't know that, right? I mean, because I will tell you what, Derek has provided us with some unbelievable cigars.
Well, I mean, smoking this cigar, I mean, is comparable, and at, like you said, $15 a cigar.
Right.
I mean, there's cigars that are Cuban that I could get that are no less than $40.
Right.
40, 50, 60. Sorry, no better.
Okay.
So smoking this and smoking what I smoke at home for $15, I mean,
yeah,
I could buy a case of it,
right?
And enjoy it just as much.
Right.
Scott, the answer is yes. We're out of Kansas City.
I've got a question for you about the cigar industry in Cuba as a consumer. In Canada, as a consumer, I've never been into a cigar store in Canada. When you go into a cigar store, are there New World cigars? Like what's the ratio? Is it mostly Cuban cigars? Is it a 50-50 mix of Cuban and New World?
No, I think now it's more like it's a 30-70. Only because so many more countries are coming out with cigars that are equivalent.
Right. Okay.
So, yes, someone might want to walk in, like when I come here, I say I want a Cuban. Right. But if I were buying for myself, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Cuban.
Right.
So, but yes, people are looking for the name Cohiba.
Sure.
Partega. That's what they're looking at Romeo. I mean, because it's got the band.
Right.
But it's no different than chasing a unicorn bourbon that that will cost you $300 a bottle, and you can find an equivalent bourbon for $40, $50, $60. But when if you walk into a liquor store and you walk down that bourbon aisle, whiskey aisle, it's it's like seeing the way down the hallway, right? There are so many.
Right.
How do you know? So that's one reason why we started this,
Sure.
right? Let's find some cigars let's find some bourbon that's not going to break the bank, but is delicious, right?
Right. That's kind of
Well,
what we wanted to focus on with this video series was finding those, not chasing the unicorn, finding that thing that you can get on the shelf that we can actually sample, them people can find, and pairing it with a great cigars.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Scott, what we're drinking is a short barrel cigar blend. It's the 2025
What is it? Gauge 36.
Gauge 36 batch 3. And I'll tell you, it is.
Are these hard to find? Are these easy to? I don't know if they're easy or hard.
Is this something you can go find on the shelf?
Yeah, I think so. It's again, it's not. They're getting bigger, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely sought after.
Sure.
It's about $100 bottle. But if I'm going to drink this and I'm going to sit and I'm going to have some cigars, I'm going to go pay $100 for this bottle.
Sure.
To have it on the shelf. Is it going to be my everyday drinker at $100? No, because if I'm not in a place where I can smoke a cigar, I'd rather I'll just take something a weeded that's going to be a little easier to drink, and then I don't have to. But this is a quality juice.
Yes, absolutely.
Quality juice. I usually kind of give away and pass around the bottle at the end when we're done here, and this one's going to go back in the back. Yeah. So
This is a great whiskey.
well, you paired it well.
This is a cigar batch. Is this? We probably talked about it early on, and maybe I just missed it. Is this a single barrel?
No, I think it's a small
No,
batch.
it is.
small batch,
It's a
okay.
small batch, right? It's a cigar batch, right?
Okay.
So.
So when they say batch, what was this? Batch 35?
And I think
36.
the thing that's misleading with small batch in the bourbon whiskey world is it could be
This is
anywhere
number
from,
3. This is batch 3.
Okay, batch.
200 barrel batch to some people do 10,000 barrel
Depends on the
batches
distiller, how
plus,
big
yeah.
they are, right?
So I mean, that's the misleading thing about a small batch is that you have smaller producers that are doing like 10 barrels. You have bigger producers that are blending 50,000 barrels into a small batch and calling it a small batch. So it's a little misleading in that fact, because if you blend 50,000 barrels,
That's a pretty big batch.
it's a big batch. If you're blending, let's say 10 to 50, it's going to be a little bit different flavor.
Right.
So I mean, that's where a lot of that's misleading. But,
Scott just mentioned he said he has a YouTube channel that's bourbon focused. So he's having a short barrel double oaked batch right now, right?
Nice.
So I guess Scott, where are you located, and are you seeing are you seeing that it's on the shelf, or is it when you walk in the store it's behind the counter, right? So again, I haven't, not because it's not here in Kansas that I know of that you can buy this on the shelf. What availability do you see?
I think their honey bees knees is probably their most sought after. At least what I've
And I'm not
heard.
sure. I think from what I heard, the last batch
Yeah.
sold out very quickly, and online and at stores that it's in. I know it's in Texas. I do know that because a lot of the guys I talk to are out of Texas.
But you and I both know, as more and more people find out about a brand, it becomes more scarce in the market.
Well,
So
absolutely,
people
right?
start-
That creates it, right? So the more you talk about it, the more people say,
Sure.
"Oh my, this is what you got to go get." They go get, right?
Or it wins an award and then you can't ever find it.
So Scott said he hasn't seen Missouri, so obviously he's from Missouri. Yeah, so
He must be pretty smart then.
he's in St. Louis.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah, but he knows some guys in Kansas City. So, well, Scott, if you get over here, Ash Anvil in Gardner, Kansas, I'm going to tell you what, Derek has a Class A facility. He's got a cigar lounge. He's got a speakeasy right next door, and he's got a bar out back. It's outside, fire pits. You ought to come here. Maybe we should talk about maybe a little collaboration
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
with you and your
That'd be
channel,
cool.
right?
Very cool.
Come on over. Again, it's 4-hour drive. Right?
Yeah. Bring us something we can't find in Kansas City.
There you go. So,
Yeah, really good.
of course, Missouri, you can walk in and get.
That's right. There's
They'll
good
start
stuff
pouring glasses while you can walk around the store. Unlike Kansas, right? It's locked, and you have to get, they pat you down to make sure, So
Right.
it's tough. So, well, I think that's probably good for
Yeah.
tonight. Ken, what's your thoughts? So, coming from, are you gonna ditch Scotch now and Cuban cigars, or
I will not ditch Scotch. The only thing I like about the bourbon for a single malt Scotch, which is what I drink. You can't find it in different categories, like you just said. Like you can, like, to find the ultimate that I like in a Scotch, you have to pay. But when you're talking about bourbon, because you produce it within the United States,
And only in the United States.
yeah, you're finding different variations of prices.
Sure.
So, but because we're buying like the Glenmorangies and the Dalwhinnies and all these Scotland brands that are coming in, Glenmorangie.
Glenmorangie.
So you're paying $200, you're paying $300 a bottle.
Sure.
You know, and then when you go and try and find a bottle that's under $100, you don't want to drink it.
Yeah.
Or you serve it to people
Yeah.
who don't know their.
What's the sweet spot for a Scotch? Would you say, is it 10 plus? Is it 15 plus? How many years? As far as years,
12
12
minimum.
plus.
15,
So I think
15 would
yeah.
be the sweet spot.
So I think that's the difference between whiskey, bourbon, and, well, Scotch is still a whiskey. So I mean, it all, but this could be 4 years. We don't know what the age statement's on it. It could be 4 years, it could be 6 years. Where
Right.
I mean, when you get a bourbon or a whiskey in the States that's 12 years, you're going to pay a lot of money for it.
Right.
Where
But-
yeah,
But there's so much variation in climate in the United
Oh,
States.
sure.
And it can be made in Texas where you have,
A lot of heat.
wild
Right.
temperature swings
Yeah.
from very, very cold to very, very hot in the same area. You go to Tennessee where it's a little bit milder. You go to Kentucky where it's a little bit milder. You don't have quite that big swing. You come here to Kansas where it's not as big of a swing as Texas. In Scotland, I'm not sure that they have the wild
Oh, yeah, I think
temperature
it's-
changes. I grew up in Edinburgh, Scotland as a kid,
okay.
long before I could taste Scotch.
Are you sure?
what is it, 12 there?
Yeah. No, but I grew up there, and I lived there for a little over a year.
Yeah.
And you had warm days, and you had cool days, but you didn't have really, really cold days. That bitter cold that you
extremes.
get here, and like you probably do in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get those just burning hot days where it's 115 degrees. So that 15 years, 20 years, 30 years in a barrel. The whiskey almost needs that time
Yeah.
Right.
to that gentle cycle back and forth. Where if you go to Texas, an 8-year-old Texan whiskey is ancient.
Yeah. Well,
That's old.
yeah. So Mike and I went to an event with a distillery in Georgia, and the difference is, so like in Kentucky, kind of like what you're saying, you get a more mild temperature. They can age it longer.
Right.
An 8-year-old Georgia bourbon, you lose probably 60 to 70% of that
Right.
barrel. So by the time you're there, you're getting maybe, let's say, 50 bottles out of that.
Right.
Where Kentucky can do that and get, 3 times that.
Right.
So I mean, that's the difference.
150 bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Texas, I've heard rumors of people, distilleries burying their whiskey barrels
Yeah.
to try to
To keep-
insulate them.
I think that's
to slow the aging
Slow the
process
aging.
down, because they don't put them in rick houses, and we don't typically here in the Midwest either. I mean, I
They're
know
in
that-
warehouses.
right, they're in warehouses. I know Holiday has rick houses,
Yeah.
and they're very proud of that. And Holiday is some of my favorite whiskey. But you look at Union Horse and Rieger and some of these
They're
other
just in warehouses.
they're warehouses because they don't need 15 floors to differentiate
Right.
the heat and to build that heat up in the rick house.
Because you don't have it here.
You don't have it, right? It's you get
Yeah.
that swing. So Ty, that 10-year-old horse soldier is good bourbon.
That's a good juice, right?
That's good
That's a
stuff.
good juice. So, well,
Take us home.
yeah.
All right.
So, Scott, again, thanks for your channel. We should connect sometime. And if you're in this area, Fort Scott's just about 2 hours south.
Mhm.
But you can stop here on the way through. And, you said you're not much into cigars, but we can, Derek can sway you a little bit.
There we go. I'm good at that.
No, we just we appreciate y'all joining us. If you like what you're seeing, subscribe, like the channel. We're just going to continue to do this. Derek has met with a bunch of distillers that we're gonna continue to
I
add,
found some cool stuff.
to this repertoire that is going to, it's just we're all over the board, right? We're not just doing the same thing every time. It's always something different, something unique that a different perspective, and I think that's what we'll go for. So
also, if there's anybody on here that wants to see us do something, we'd love to. If you have an idea of something you want to try that you've never tried, that you want to hear a different perspective, we'd love to do it.
or if you've tried, even if you've tried it and you've not paired it with a cigar, you
want us to pair with your favorite whiskey? Yeah.
We'll gladly do that. I mean, we're having a good time doing this.
As long as it's not bland straight from the barrel, that's gonna be a little bit hard to do.
What's that?
Bland straight from the barrel pairing.
Yeah, I know someone who has one who can bring it down from Canada. But we're I think
Next
we're
time.
I think we're good here. We'll another great episode, another great just pairing, and a little different than like I said the last time. So
All right.
all
Thank
right.
you guys.
Well, Derek,
you.
again, Ash Anvil. I missed it on the beginning. So
That's all right.
Gardner, Kansas, the Bellows, Speakeasy,
The Forge.
You got to come.
It's so much fun.
Even if you're not looking for whiskey, you can come and get a fancy drink at the Speakeasy.
Although we have a lot of whiskeys.
Yeah,
We've got a lot of bottles.
We did.
but it's
I saw that.
it's a great facility, right? So it's kind of Bourbon Bros home away from home. Hopefully, we're creating some foot traffic and just some friends. We're making friends.
Yeah.
So, Ken, thank you for coming down from
Thank you for
Montreal.
having me.
We appreciate it. And we'll just continue to do this. So, well, you know what? As we always end it, it's not just about the pours, but the bond it creates. Happy pour.